Let's talk about something that flips the entire dating game on its head, triggering a woman's fear of losing you. Not by begging for her attention, not by overexplaining your worth, and definitely not by chasing her when she pulls away. I'm talking about shifting the energy so that she's the one who starts thinking, what if I lose this guy? If you're a man who's tired of constantly giving and never getting anything back, if you've been trying to prove yourself, to stay on her radar, to win her over, you need to hear this. Most men are playing the game backwards. They're so focused on keeping a woman interested that they never give her the emotional space to fear losing them. That's the mistake. Because women don't chase comfort. They chase emotional impact. And one of the most powerful emotional triggers you can create is the fear of loss. Not through drama or manipulation, but by cultivating a presence so strong, so rooted in self-respect, that the thought of not having you actually unsettles her. That's when her behavior changes. That's when she starts putting in real effort. Most men never reach this point because they're too available, too eager, too easy to reach. And in that comfort, she loses interest. She doesn't think she could lose you, so she never values you. But once you understand how to flip that energy, you'll no longer have to chase attention. You'll have it. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to carry yourself, how to move, and how to create a dynamic where women don't just want you, they fear losing you. And before we dive deeper, remember, my full course on mastering the dating game is live. If you've been learning from this channel, that's just the surface. In the course, we go deeper. Real strategies, real psychology, and no guesswork. Now, let's get into it. One of the fastest ways to kill attraction and completely eliminate any chance that a woman fears losing you is to constantly reassure her. Every time you remind her but that kind of reaction instantly kills attraction.
Why?
Because it reveals emotional dependence. When you chase her the moment she distances herself, you're sending the message that she controls your emotional state. You're teaching her that all she has to do to gain power is pull back, and you'll start doing all the work. That's how you lose her respect. The better move? Ignore the distance. Don't reward it with extra attention. Don't chase someone who is choosing to step back. You stay grounded, calm, and silent. That doesn't mean you're angry or playing games. It means you respect yourself enough not to chase someone who isn't matching your effort. This is hard for most guys because we're taught to be communicative, emotionally open, to fight for love. But sometimes when a woman pulls away, it's not about something deep. It's a test. A way to see how much control she has over you. And the more reactive you are, the more control she gains. But when you stay steady and unbothered, she feels the shift. She starts to realize you're not going to beg or chase. You just let the silence speak. And when a consistent man goes quiet, it gets loud in her mind. She questions her choice. She remembers how it felt when you were fully present. She starts chasing because now, for the first time, she has to earn your attention. And that's how respect is built. Reacting to her distance with more effort shows weakness. Ignoring it shows strength. And when she realizes you won't force her to stay, she'll want to come back on her own. And this time, she'll respect you more than ever. Nothing makes a woman fear losing you faster than realizing, deep down, she's not your only option. That doesn't mean you need to be dating multiple women. It means you need to live like a man who has options. Socially, emotionally, mentally. You cannot depend on her attention to feel validated. Too many men drop everything the moment they like a woman. They cancel plans, stop seeing friends, You're already moving forward, with or without her. That subtle shift in posture, in presence, is what creates pressure in a good way. It creates attraction, desire, urgency. And the best part? You don't have to say a word. When you live like a man who has options, people feel it. It's in your tone, your timing, your presence. You're no longer pushing anything forward. You're simply becoming the man she doesn't want to see walk away. The fear of losing you is one of the most powerful forces you can trigger in a woman's mind. And that fear doesn't show up when you're always giving, always explaining, or always chasing. It shows up the moment she realizes you could walk away, not out of bitterness, not to manipulate her, but because your life is already so full that you don't need to hold on to anyone to feel complete. That's when her perception shifts. That's when she starts feeling the pressure to step up. You see, most men sabotage this dynamic by overexplaining themselves, justifying why they didn't text back right away, clarifying their words, or trying to reassure her constantly so she doesn't get the wrong idea. But every time you do that, you're handing over power. You're unconsciously telling her, "I'm scared to lose you." And the moment she senses that fear, the attraction starts to fade. Because the truth is, women aren't drawn to men who make them feel safe by begging for reassurance. They're drawn to men who make them feel excited, uncertain, intrigued. The kind of man who doesn't explain his every move, who stays grounded in his energy and lets her wonder. When she doesn't know exactly where she stands, when she feels a little unsure about how much of you she actually has, that's when she starts thinking about you more. That's when she puts in the effort. That's when she leans in. It's not about being cold. It's about being centered. It's about not making her your emotional center. The moment she realizes you won't break just because she's pulling away, that they let emotions run the show. If she pulls back, they panic. If she gets distant, they get angry. If she tests them, they fold. And the moment you hand your emotional state over to a woman's behavior, you've given up all your power. Women don't respect men who are ruled by emotion. They respect men who can feel deeply but lead calmly. Every woman, whether consciously or not, will test you. She'll question your tone. She'll act a little off. She'll go quiet just to see how much you'll break your own frame. And the moment you get reactive, whether it's pleading, venting, or chasing, you confirm that you're not in control of yourself. That's not attractive. That's exhausting. Emotional discipline doesn't mean bottling things up. It means pausing before you speak, thinking before you react, and refusing to let temporary feelings ruin permanent respect. You don't send paragraphs when you're confused. You don't raise your voice when you're hurt. You breathe, you process, and then you move from a place of power. That's what makes a woman sit up and pay attention. That's when she starts wondering, what if I lose this man? Because a man who holds himself steady while everything else is chaotic, that man is rare. And rare is irresistible. So, let's get brutally honest. The moment a woman senses she has you emotionally locked in, when your world starts revolving around her, she stops fearing the loss of you. And when that fear is gone, so is the mystery. So is the edge. That's when she starts pulling back, giving less, showing less interest. And the truth is, most men create this exact scenario by accident. They give too much too soon, respond too fast, reveal too many insecurities, and little by little they hand over every ounce of attraction they once had. But the second you change your frame, when you start valuing your attention, your time, and your emotional center more than you value being liked, everything shifts. You become the one she works to keep, the one she studies.